I'm back out again for a few days, and it's bright and early in the morning. Not as early as you think though, given this time of year. Sunrise is about 10 o'clock, sunset is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so very limited daylight this time of year. It's about -10 degrees C, and this evening it'll probably be about -15, so it's not particularly cold, but low humidity, which is great, so it doesn't really cut through you. But the snow is really dense, so driving conditions are pretty easy, to be honest. I've obviously studded and siped these tyres so they grip really well on the hard packed snow and the ice. But there is a massive dump load of snow coming in tomorrow morning and the day after, so that should be pretty interesting. Hopefully there's quite a lot, because it's been a pretty sparse winter so far. Been driving for too long. I'm about 20 kilometers from where I live, and I just wanted to check out this location. I'm on the side of a river called the Elven. It's a really beautiful river, and I just thought I'd follow it because I found a few trails that go alongside of the river, and it's always nice to be by water, although you can't really access it this time of year. It's all frozen and it's super treacherous, but we'll just see where this track leads. It's a nice drive at this time of year, but I bet you in the summer this place is a mosquito hellhole. Whoa! Didn't see that. Oh, it's locked up. Can't do it. Oh, possibly the grease just hardening up or something, but that was difficult. One thing I've actually got again now is 4 high, although I did have it before, but honestly when you engaged it, it sounded like you were coming back into Earth's atmosphere in a flipping tumble dryer full of ball bearings. It was really bad. Now obviously I can't hear anything. I'm in 4 high again. Really useful to have that. And I've also got the diff lock now. Well, this is it. This is one of the locations that I had marked on the map. I just kind of seen it on Gaia and thought, yeah, we'll check it out. But it looks like it goes on a bit further, so take a look, see whether if it's something better up ahead. Nope, this is it. This is it. The end of the road. Looks like the road actually went on a little bit further, but yeah, obviously it's grown back, and there's another track that goes up there to my right, but that looks like a hiking trail, which I can kind of see on the map there, although it cuts through some pretty dense woodland to a viewpoint, I think, on the top of a hill from what I can see online. But these woods kind of give me the creeps, actually. I think he's probably in there. I can smell is ass. It's undeniable. I will have company tonight if I stay here. But now I'm turning around, there's actually an island there. Although I wouldn't risk kind of going across to it on the ice, even though you can actually see animal tracks that have dared to go across the ice. I personally wouldn't risk it. The problem with rivers is that once you go through, if the current's really strong, you're toast. Especially if the ice is thin, you just get pulled under the ice and that's it, you're done. You just don't want to risk it, really. Well, I don't anyway, you might want to. Well, I've decided to abandon that location. There's another place on the map I'm kind of interested in checking out. It's a bit higher up, a bit more of a view. I'm just making my way there now. It's a bit of a distance away and it's probably far enough away that I won't be returning here. This is the location. You know, from a bird's eye perspective, it doesn't look so nice because obviously there's coppice and stuff where they've taken trees away. But at my eye view, at a turd's eye view, it looks like a nice location. I don't know, I'm just getting some good vibes here. If the northern lights come out tonight, I'm gonna get a great view. Not much daylight left, so got to make the most of it. Fresh. Oh. It's crazy how cold your hands get in these conditions. Like, you just touch a bit of metal and you know, the pain is long lasting, especially in -20, but it isn't that cold. But anyway, let's not pretend we don't know what time it is. Time for a brew to celebrate this arrival, as always. And then I'll get my bed set up. Now that the back end of the Jeep's open, a lot of the heat's going to vanish from the diesel heater, so I'm going to put my gas in the fridge, or this one anyway, just to keep the temps up. But the diesel heat is actually going because the vehicle doesn't reach operating temperature without it on at this time of year. The cooling system just doesn't get above about 75 degrees C, so with the diesel heater on, heating up the heat exchanger and the coolant, it actually means the engine gets, you know, up to operating temperature. Almost forgot, get some solar energy in. Should be about 1 watt hour. Don't know if you can see that, but money well spent. So, you know, it's what us pros do, right? Max tracks on the roof and 1 watt hour. Oh, it's going to do that whistle thing. Obviously only does that when it's cold. It likes to let Dogman know where I am. Just anyway, I run out of Yorkshire tea. Fuck, I thought I had nothing then. Oh, it was almost time to go home. I thought I'd run out of tea. What? That was scary, that was. Done. Skills. Skills. Obviously I sleep in the truck these days, so I'm going to get my bed set up. But I just don't really like having the windows right next to my head, completely viewable, do you know what I mean? Like a bit of insulation like this. So I need to make something decent. This is just a sort of temporary kind of crap thing, but I think that's going to do for tonight. Well, I'm going to make my bed, the bed platform in the back, and I've actually done a little mod to the rear seat that allows it to actually lean forward more than the stock seat. So that's about as much as I was able to make it do at the moment. But if you remove that bolt, you can actually make it fold forward even more, like lean forward even more. So I might just build like a pull pin mechanism where you pull a little sort of release pin and it frees up that gear to allow it to come forward even more. But it's pretty good. It's much better than stock, but it just should give me some more headroom. So this will only be like the 4th time I've slept inside the vehicle, so I really hope that seat mod makes all the difference. But let's see if I can get this all set up. Take that out. And click that in. Oh, he's done it. He's a pro. Put that bugger back in. Oh yeah, got to make that other seat go forward a bit. There. Looks good. This is pretty shite, but I could have had all this set up from home, but obviously I was using the Jeep for other stuff, because that's the whole reason I built it like this, to be used as a 4-person vehicle or like a adventure vehicle. So I'm kind of keen to see how this big old mat will fit now, because I didn't use this on my last trip and I kind of regretted it because it's so comfortable and warm. Well, the verdict is it's working better, but I actually still really would like that seat to go forward just a little bit more. But we'll see how tonight fares. It's really the mat that's the problem. It's just too long. It's not so much the thickness of the mat, but it is not a cheap mat, so I can't really just be forking out for one that's shorter. You know, anyway, it is what it is. I'm in the Polar Ranger tonight, this sleeping bag here. This is got really a limit in terms of comfort of about -30°C, but tonight it'll be about -15. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Should be very warm in this bag anyway. That's the last piece of the puzzle. When you factor in everything I've just did, it's just as slow as a roof tent. I can set up some of my ground tents faster than that, but I'm pretty new to this setup really, is the point really. And when you have it set up, then it's set up and there's no takedown, so apart from this kind of stuff. But you know, like I said, I was using the vehicle for something else. So shut up. So this is kind of what I'm looking for, like bits of root and trunk that have been churned up from the logging, and these are going to be full of resin, so they're going to burn for hours and hours and hours. You really don't need a lot of wood when you got this kind of stuff, but you know, I wouldn't go digging this stuff up, because actually there is kind of a law in Sweden, here in Northern Europe I think actually, because certain beetles and other things and grubs kind of live in this stuff, so it's actually like their habitat, so you're not technically meant to burn it. All right, seems to have I mean, it just put itself on the log pile on its own, so what a dummy for not bringing a sled. I've got everything laid out for the fire, and I always try and get a bit organised when I'm making a fire, especially if I'm going to use like a natural material to light it with. And this here is just a raft, which is a massive overkill, but it's just to keep everything off the ground so it doesn't get wet. But I've got this piece of wood here, resinous wood. I'm just gonna have a look inside it, see whether we've got anything decent. Yeah, that's real nice. We should be able to actually use that to make the fire with. So I've got some dust here that I've just made with the same piece of material. So I'll try and scrape some of this material in first from the ferrocerium rod before actually trying to ignite it. Wind's always the problem with this. So the conditions aren't too bad at the moment. Try not to smother it out like I just did then. And then we can maybe get that in here and get all the little pieces on it. And you can put these twigs on. And once they get lit, you're all good. Look, for you regular viewers, you know the drill. You know, the old ways with making fire, and by the old ways I mean, you know, a modern manufactured ferrocerium rod and an RWL 34 knife made of state-of-the-art materials, okay? The old ways. Yeah, that wasn't the best fire prep, to be honest with you. I kind of only really just pulled that off. I should have put a bit more time into it, but you know, just is what it is. But I have a nice fire. This atmospheric modifier is really doing its thing. It's just changed the temps all around the camp, and the wind's just perfect direction as well. So I'm hungry. I'm going to try and get some food going in a bit. I just need to wait for this to die down. It's really therapeutic to just be out here and just be enjoying yourself in your setup, traveling around, seeing beautiful things. And it would be nice to do a bit more activity though. I quite like ice fishing. I also like snowshoeing and hiking and things like that. So it's just really that period in the year in which I can't really do a lot of fishing because the ice is a bit sketchy. As I showed you earlier, even though it looks pretty thick when you look at certain parts of it, it really isn't. But it's time to do some cooking and take this stove off the Miniker. I'm not going to be using the white gas. Predominantly I cook on fire a lot these days at this time of year. Whoa, look at that. It's like I'm trying to dig a tag nut out of Satan's butt crack. Woo! Those are some good embers, shielded by the two cheeks of pine. You can have a hot side and a cool side. Oh yeah, butter. These sausages are almost done. I'm absolutely starving. I can't wait. But if you look at the sky, you can see the sun's gone down and it's 2:30 and it's going to be dark pretty soon. I get a lot of questions about how I cope, or how people cope with the darkness. Now I obviously, you know, I've talked about in other videos, I take vitamin D as well as other things, but if you look at the sky, you can kind of see it's got a purple kind of candy floss colour. It's really beautiful. It's a strange kind of darkness this time of year. It doesn't really feel like darkness when you spend it outside. Now if it was full cloud cover, sure, it can feel a bit gloomy, but when you have skies like this, you kind of, it's a darkness I've never quite experienced anywhere else in the world. And being outside, even though there's no sun, it carries its own kind of energy with it. It's hard to explain really. I think people who live here probably understand what I mean. But anyway, I need sausages in my mouth. Shut up. All right. Whew, need a drink. Those sausages were spicy. There we go. Perfect. That should boil pretty quick. Well, it's coming up to about 6 o'clock in the evening, and I'm just making myself some dinner. Just some ground beef and some chopped up zucchini, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't even know what it's called actually. Yeah, I'm just going to have this and a bit of flatbread, and that'll be my final meal. But look at the moon. It's really bright, really beautiful. Shame I don't have camera gear that can really show it. Well, it's been a pretty pleasant evening. I've just been around the fire, basically chilling out, looking at the stars, looking at the moon, which kind of looks like a Mortal Kombat symbol tonight. It's pretty weird. And like I said, I've got a scary film I'm going to watch tonight. It's kind of like what I always do when I'm out here. Well, not always watching scary films, but you know, it's kind of, yeah, whatever, right? It's just, you know, how else am I going to get a boner? Okay? Well, it's bright and early in the morning. Not bright and early, it's about 10 o'clock. I've overslept, but that is a rarity for me. I've got 2 boys, so I'm normally woken up pretty early by one of them at the moment. But yeah, I've had the diesel heater on for about half an hour. Obviously, like I always said, don't sleep with it on because it's bloody annoying, and I'm in an extremely cold bag, so I would have been dead if I'd had the diesel heater on from heat stroke. But yeah, it was about -15 last night, so it was actually a very cold night, but I was pretty cozy, and I slept with the windows cracked, so you know, just helps with the condensation. But the diesel heater's obviously in the last half hour done a great job of just kind of clearing up any fogging that was on the windows. I am really enjoying sleeping in the Jeep. It's so much better with the weather conditions than being in the roof tent, and I just don't have to worry about wind and drying out the tent and all that kind of stuff. It's not for everyone. I mean, in all fairness, this place is bigger than one of those Chinese capsule apartments for $40 a month, so the reality being is I'm actually in luxury for some people in the world, so there's that. Oh, there's been a little bit of snow, hasn't there? Not a huge amount, but whew. Surprisingly cold. The snowfall's coming directly into the back of the vehicle, which is terrible for my setup. I don't have a rear awning, which I would love to have. Something like a 270, just to give me better coverage so I could work at the back. So I'm going to actually spin the vehicle round so the back of the vehicle's facing over there, so hopefully the rear hatch actually keeps out some of the snow. That's what it's like, right? Van life, you know what I'm saying? Like, van life. This is van life, mate. This is coffin life. That's how I roll. Like, coffin life. Coffin life. Rise and shine, darling. Again. Seems happy though. Whoa. I didn't think I was going to have a fire this morning, but I really do feel like one. Just knocked out this root. That is very sticky with resin, so make a fire with that. Be absolutely perfect. So. Timber! Oh, you didn't see it? Just, yeah, just... Gonna go easy mode today. There it is. This stuff should burn very well. Probably one of the beastiest bits of fat wood I've ever found, actually. I mean, if you are in the habit of making fires with lighters, then you'll have an easy ride with this stuff pretty much every time. You can probably still hear that I'm a bit under the weather, which is kind of why I've opted for a fire today. If I'd have thought about it properly, I'd done all the prep last night, put it under the vehicle, but you know, obviously I'm stupid, so there's that. That's a savage bit. Look at that. Just there. It's almost like it's been like filled with resin. It's just gone hard. I think I'm getting hard. Fast food. Oh. With these shoulders as well, just don't bother splitting them down. Just put them straight on because they go up crazy. You don't need to bother with that. Like normal logs that have a bit of moisture in, or you know, like birch or like slow burners that get smoky, you can do that, but this stuff is just so full of resin. You don't really want to split it down or else it's going to go up too quick. It's time for a grade F pot hanger. There we go. Grade F for fantastic, by the way. Well, that's it for me in the Cherokee. I'm going to make a move out here, although I'm actually going that way. I'm going to go into those hills over there and check out like what's going on around there. I know there's some tracks and trails like from this logging area that carry on up into that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I certainly enjoyed being out here and doing this kind of stuff. I absolutely love it. You know, it's really is quite a healing process to get out into nature and just be out here and sort of use your gear, and it's just the whole process really is quite enjoyable for me. But it is nice to get on some more challenging tracks, so when the snow's higher it should be good fun. But anyway, just want to say a big thanks to everyone watching. Appreciate people who watch and support in any which way they can, and obviously to the guys on Patreon who support the channel. A huge thank you to you guys, and you know, I'll see you all very soon in another video. Take care. Well, I was on my way home and I just totally goofed it into the ditch there. Almost went down into that, which would have been really bad. I could have potentially have rolled the vehicle if it hadn't have stopped. Actually, that would have tipped it over. You can kind of see it always looks less on camera, but yeah, I'm on about 25 psi, so technically I should really air down, but I'm just going to test out my front locker, see whether I can actually get out of this without using the winch and airing down. Front locker for the win. That was awesome. Just crawled out. I've never been able to do that before, because normally when the weight all shifts on a lean, this, you know, the tyre that has the least resistance starts spinning, and I've always had that before, and the rear's never really been enough, but locked up it just pulled itself out. All of you are probably like, yeah mate, that's why we spend all our money on lockers first and not all this other shit. Shut up. All right. And the snow is really dense, kind of like an old butt plug you found under your sister's bed, but you shouldn't have been there in the first place. I've been here before actually, but from the other side, and that's what she said. Sorry, I'm fucking stupid. Got some Italian sausages, got some ground beef, some other stuff, so yeah, a few human parts. I fucking love that shit. Sorry. Our country's and we have to clean up after them, and that is our great reward. Obviously in this case I used a lighter, so and I'm losing my voice, so sorry guys. You know, I know that basically I've lost some points there, but like somebody said a while back, I've earned it from time to time, so fuck off.